Greetings and salutations, nerds, geeks, fans of D&D, friends, and mostly family. Welcome to you another Ramshackle production, a stream that promises if you stick with us for at least one episode, you'll politely chuckle at least once. If you like what you see, don't be afraid to follow, and if you really like what you see, you can hit that subscribe button up over here. If you have Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime, everybody gets free Twitch Prime. So welcome again to this evening. We're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition in a homebrewed campaign world that we've put together, starting in the Ghost of Saltmarsh arc, produced and released by Wizards of the Coast, who we have no affiliation with in any way, shape, or form. If you scroll down to the bottom of our Twitch channel, you can see our merch store. Click down. We've got a number of shirts there. We've just added our 54th Mech Regiment shirt, the old Mech Warrior unit we used to play in, and we do shooting games and stuff in it with that. We have the whole cast here tonight. We've got Dan on Nimbus, we got Mike on Maris, we got Aaron on Warren, Lee on Valkorin, and Devin on Bones Bontu, also known as just Bones. So
the hobo on repeat.
So we've got a few things that we're going to go through at the beginning of the stream, kind of catch up from last week, and then dive into this combat here in just a second. Last week the party completed defeating the gentleman at the cellar of the house that they found, a gentleman by the name of Sambalat. They took captive a prisoner who divulged quite a bit of information. They then made their way to searching through the rest of the house, and then ended up in this cellar where they're currently about to be engaged with some rot grubs, it appears. So pretty exciting there. One of the things that we did last stream was we had Lee's character Valkorin look at the piece of paper with the markings on it. So Lee, if you can, go ahead and open up that envelope right now.
This envelope was hermetically sealed. We'll go through. You've got a nice Bert from Sesame Street stamp on there. We've got a couple of items.
Show everybody the addresses on it. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
no harm there.
None at all.
5 XP if you dox yourself.
Yeah, so one of them is going to be a map. Yep, you guys that'll come into play later, so put that one to the side. The other one will be a piece of paper with some markings on it that you found that your character specifically recognizes as Procan's code.
The lights for the ship.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
The lantern
Is that it?
patterns.
Yep. So what
Sick.
the prisoner had divulged to you was that on the 15th of every month he's told to go up to a window on the second floor of the house and send a signal out. And Sambalat just tells him what signal to send out on the piece of paper, either the first one, the second one, the third one, or the fourth one. He doesn't know what it says. Lee, your character Valkorian has some experience with Procan's code, and you're familiar with a few characters of that code. So as we get into this, after this combat, we'll dive back into that. But for now,
Right.
gentlemen, let's dive into where we left last time, as swarms of rot grubs have come forth from this dead humanoid's mouth and ears and his stomach, and we are in combat. Roll initiative, please.
Right, boys. I think this one maybe ate raw cookie dough.
No.
What the fuck?
Look at that.
Every
20,
roll on
20, 5, 4, 3.
Nice.
The dice are trying to kill us.
All right, who do I have? 21 to 25.
Maris.
Maris, of course.
20.
20.
And Valkorian.
Also
yeah,
20?
Valkorian. Yeah.
Nice. You guys just tell me each turn who's going to go first, please. Y'all can decide between yourselves.
Right.
Next up, 15 to 20. 10 to 15.
Skip that one too, man.
5 to 10.
Go down to the bottom.
Nimbus 5.
Nimbus 5.
Warren 4.
And Bones.
3.
All right, gentlemen, let's begin combat. Starting off with Maris. Let's go.
Let's see. I need to grab my character here, but then I think we're gonna get to be punching some rockworms. So this thing in the middle here, that's the dead body that the worms came out of.
Yes. Yep.
That was my picture.
Yeah, no, that was our sea elf friend.
Right
It's
there.
Under
There you go.
Warren.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
I stood on his feet and the things just started popping out.
Okay, so I will, upon seeing these things spring out of the ground, I'll do what I do best, go over and punch it in the face. So,
Okay.
unarmed attack. Come on. Oh, yeah. 25, 22.
Those both hit. Yes. Yes.
Alright, first damage.
Oh
Nice.
yeah,
8 damage, fuck yeah.
that's just bring it on home. We're just gonna let him solo it.
Second punch is 5.
One punch.
To one worm.
So that's 13 total is what you did.
Yes.
All right. So you come in and you do a flurry of blows on it, and like there are just piles and mounds of rot grub goo as your fists are just pounding in, and you can still feel some crawling over your hands towards you to try to engage. But as you step back at the end of your combat, there are definitely like 6-inch circles of smushed grubs where you've been able to decimate quite a few of the swarm. Next up, Valkorian.
Go ahead and take my rapier and stab down into the worms nearest.
Make some kebabs.
Yeah.
Then produced my rapier.
A 12.
12 hits.
So sneak attack damage since they're
He's engaged,
conjoined
otherwise.
base with Warren.
Yep.
Whiskey wants to play too.
Yeah, apparently.
Hi, Whiskey. That's a big old chonker.
Rapier is a D8 plus 4. I always get that messed up.
I have a
Good
little
damage
bowl
for
of
a sword.
snacks in front of me, and that he is just laser focused on them. He doesn't. It looks like he cares about the stream, but there's really snacks, and he is very
Dan,
occupied
show
with
snacks.
That's how I do it too.
So that is 8 points of piercing damage plus 2 sneak attack damage for a total of 10.
So you take your rapier and like a Roman legionnaire, behind his shield, and you're just jabbing and jabbing and jabbing, and then when you pull your rapier back, you have a line of rock gubs from the tip all the way back to the
Gentlemen, I believe we may have some kebabs tonight.
and those rot grubs are expired after that.
Yeah, sacre gueux.
Next up, these rock grubs move forward to the first person that they saw, which was Maris, as unintelligent creatures, and they are going to attack. Let's roll 1d20. That's a natural 20.
Woo woo!
I think that hits.
Draw a card. Draw a card.
And here we go with the Nord Games critical hit cards.
Get a good shuffle here before Maris loses his ability to smell onions.
What?
I don't know. I'm just guessing what the card might be.
While he's drawing this card, Maris, as these rot grubs bite into you, you have a sudden memory of your research of the flora and fauna of this land, and you know that these rot grubs in particular, if they're able to take root into a body, they can kill someone. So you need to treat the wound with fire as soon as possible. And by as soon as possible, almost immediately is what you recollect. So, Lee, go ahead and please read us the Nerd Games card.
So this is a classification dangerous. Right on the shins. You cannot take the dash action for 1d6 rounds.
Please roll me a d6.
1d6. Oof. 4.
Okay. I've marked you with a red dot, and we'll do that for 4 rounds. So, starting at the beginning of next round. All right, now we're going to roll for the rock grubs. So the rock grubs, when they bite you, we roll a d4. and you see as they swarm over you, you see 3 of them go underneath your skin where the bite was.
Oh.
And that's
I like
that's the end of their turn.
It's
So
not good.
next up, Nimbus.
Yeah, so Nimbus, seeing that, the grubs crawling up on his friend, he's gonna rush in and take his mace to the whole lot of them and try and bash him down.
Okay.
So he's gonna make an attack roll.
You gonna move up on him first?
Oh yeah, I just assume that happens, right? 1. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to move wrong. There you go. Thank you. 19 to hit.
Yeah, that's a resounding hit.
That's gonna do it. So we're gonna do a D8 plus 2. Oh, 3 damage.
Okay. 3
Adorable.
Yeah, so you smack your mace down, and they just kind of, when it hits, they just kind of swarm around it. You do see a few dead bodies linger on the ground, but this is a giant swarm of undulating worms moving their way across the floor. It's kind of gross, actually. Anything else from you, Nimbus?
He exclaims like, "Holy escargot, we must beat them down. There are so many."
Love it.
all
Next
you
up, Warren.
I'm gonna crunch across the bodies of these, and I'm gonna put my axe real close to the ground and just swing it sideways at 'em.
Oh, nice.
Do it.
Nice. We'll
Like a
call that.
lawnmower.
Yeah, we'll go for the ground cleave maneuver.
Pays to be short. Oh yeah, right. I need to roll.
Yep, roll 1d20 for your attack, please.
If I die, I'm making a dwarf whose last name is Ground Cleave.
So the battle axe, so it's
It's a 17 total, yes?
yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that is a hit for sure. Please roll your
Okay.
damage.
And,
It's a D8 plus 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it'd
Ooh.
be 8.
8 more points
Nice.
of damage. So you take your axe and you kind of sever them in half, this layer of them, and as you lift up your axe, you have the worm halves still sitting on top, and you kind of shake them off, and the other halves just kind of wither and fall over dead. It's
Look
still
at one guy's beard.
it's still a pretty large group of rot grubs there moving around. Maris, Bones. Bones after Warren.
Okay, I'm trying to think right now of I don't want to use my 2 swords to cut worms out. So when it comes to something like this, I think it would be better to use a torch. If I'm gonna use my torch to fuck the worms up, which I think that's just way more effective than
Yeah.
slicing and dicing worms.
Mhm.
With something like that, how do I do damage on that?
So we would roll a d20 for your attack, and it's not a weapon you're proficient with, so you would get your strength modifier, but you wouldn't get your proficiency modifier. So you'd be plus 4, I think is what. Yeah, you'd be plus 4, but you wouldn't be plus 6.
Okay, but in my mind, is it worth it to do that because it makes more sense, or am I going to do more damage if I?
You're
My
going to
sword.
do more damage with the swords, because I'm assuming that you're turning your blades to the flats of your blades, and
Just cutting them
you're whapping down like this and smushing,
Okay.
right?
So then I'm gonna move Bones over here, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna do my roll 20.
Okay.
17.
That's a
and
hit.
then,
Yeah.
roll my d6 plus 4, right?
With the so using the flats of his blade, it would just be his regular damage for the weapon, but it would be bludgeoning, not slashing.
Yeah, we would be bludgeoning,
that
which
seems right.
doesn't do anything additional to these creatures, but
Yeah.
No, I'm slashing. I'm not bludgeoning. I'm slashing.
you're slashing.
I don't think it makes a difference, right? We're still just
Yeah.
hitting them
Okay.
mechanically.
So 10.
Yeah, and so you smack your weapons down, and you leave a pool of dead rock grubs behind, but they're still undulating around and moving, and definitely did some damage, but not as
Okay.
much as you wanted to.
So I'm gonna use my second attack with my left hand and do it again.
Okay. Another hit.
Get them.
And then -2, right? So. Oh shit. So that will be 4.
4. cleared. There is a giant pile, and there's still just a few of the rot grubs making their way towards Maris. Anything else to do in your turn, sir?
I'm done for the turn.
All right, Maris, your turn. And at the beginning of your turn, you can feel the 3 rot grubs that have entered your body start to move their way up your arm. You can actually see them moving under your skin. And you're going to take 1d6 damage per rot grub.
Jesus.
Oh God.
Oh, Jesus.
1d6 per rod.
Yeah, but you're lucky because I roll like shit. You take 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Jesus.
So that could have killed me there. So
Yeah, that's hypothetically 18 damage. We all have less than 18 health. That's terrible. That's bad.
Matt Colville has an encounter like this.
That's what happened.
seeing them wind up my arms, I'll unsheath my dagger and see if I can't like pry them out.
Oh.
Okay, you know that's the way that they move. Prying them out isn't going to be good enough. You need to treat it with fire. So,
Quick question: does anybody have knowledge of grot worms and how they work?
Mike, we talked about this a moment ago. So Maris
sorry.
has. I think you stepped away for a second, Devin. Maris has specific knowledge of this type of creature and knows that he has to treat it with fire immediately, or they can make their way to his heart and kill him. So
Okay, only Maris. He's the only person.
he hasn't said anything about it yet out loud.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll turn to Bones since he was using his torch and just be like, we need to saute these worms in order to dispose of them. And I'll, how about this? Could I like stomp at a few worms and like expose my arms to Bones for him to?
He talked about pulling his torch out, but he actually just smacked him with his blades.
Yeah,
So there's
because nobody.
No torches out.
It was like an actual thing.
There's no torches out, and
It wasn't a known property.
Yep. The only light in the room is actually the bullseye lantern that's kind of been set to the side during combat, lighting up and there's weird shadows being cast on the wall.
Okay.
But you can make your way over to it at the foot of the stairs, presumably.
Yeah, you could make your way over to it, or
there's 2 torches on the wall. Is that real?
No, those aren't real. That's not. I mean,
Damn it.
there's torches there, but they're not lit. This room
You
isn't lit.
have 1 torch on the ground at the foot of the stairs.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay.
Okay. So I'll run over there and light it if I can.
It's
If that's
lit.
okay.
So
It's
yeah,
lit.
it's a movement and an action just to put the torch to your arm where you can see the 3 rot grubs. So as you move away, the rot grubs do get attack of opportunity.
Those opportunistic grubs.
They're in your arm,
fucking
like everywhere you move.
That's another natural 20.
Jeez.
Ugh.
Bye.
And they make 3 more grubs in your arm.
Pulling a card.
Only a setback classification on this. You are staggered. All attacks against you have advantage until the start of next turn.
All right, we'll make that blue. Okay, and you're running for the torch at the base of the stairs there. Okay, I moved you over there. And so, yeah, for your action, you can pick the torch up, and if you want to light your arm, you absolutely can.
I'll do it.
All right, so you guys see Maris sort of backflip out of combat and make a dash over to the stairway, scoop up the torch, and he just puts it on his arm. And the smell of sea elf flesh. It's a lot like when someone microwaves fish at the office. That smell.
Triton. Cardinal sin.
Yeah, Triton. Sorry, not sea elf. So yeah, you can smell that smell, and I need Maris, you to take 1 point of damage, and the first set of rot grubs has been burned away, but as you were pulling out of that combat, you felt it try to come up the back of your leg, and you look down and you see another trio of rot grubs make their way into the back of your ankle and starting to come up the back of your leg.
Bye.
All right, so that is the end of Maris's. Anything else for you, Maris?
I think that's it, unless I can drink a potion, but I don't think I have one, so that's my turn.
That's true. Okay, next up is going to be Valkorian.
Move around with the grub-infested rapier, look down at the pile and say, "There's always room for a few more, boys. Stick around." And I'll stab at him.
That's great.
22 to hit.
Absolute hit. Yeah.
Woo!
Nice.
Base piercing damage of 10 plus sneak attack. So 12 total points of piercing damage.
Yep.
Those are great.
They are moving around quickly, so your 12 points doesn't do as much damage as you think that it would. However, describe for me, if you will, how you finish off these rot grubs.
So more slicing a piece, and as it's in the air, stabbing it through down into another one, getting a little bit delicate, working on some of my feints and the like in swordplay.
Nice. So you guys watch as, at first, it seems like Valkorian's taking this very seriously, but then it seems like he starts to play, and it feels like he's training as he's dashing away at these tiny little rock grubs. And with that, we have completed combat, and you have defeated the rot grubs.
So yeah, I'm gonna rush over to Maris and
Love you,
kind
soldier.
of help him use the lantern to kind of cut off wherever the worms are running up his arm using the lantern. Put my hands on his thigh, like stop him from running up past his knee.
Okay, yep.
Start burning him out.
Yep, and then that's another point of damage then for Valkorian, or sorry, not Valkorian, Bones. You should be down to 6. And with that,
Why
for
is
Maris.
Bones taking damage?
Not Bones. I meant
never got Maris.
I meant Maris. Maris. Yes, Maris. Maris takes another point of damage down to 6 points as you burn away, and you can see them cease moving underneath your skin.
So I'm gonna run over to him, kind of help him down to the ground, and call out, "Warren, I need you over here. You gotta suck out the bottom coming out of his feet. You gotta suck it out."
I know that's not the right answer, but I'm not going to stop him.
I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna grab the turtle as we're walking over, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
"You heard him, turtle. You have to put your mouth on him."
My specialty. I love worms. I love sucking on them.
Bones is
Oh yeah, he's a
down on
turtle.
him.
That makes
That's
sense.
Great.
So
Just don't take the whole leg, lad.
I'm a turtle, so obviously I eat oysters,
Oh yeah.
things out of the beach.
that stuff.
He definitely sucks
People eat oysters.
worms out of his
What's your
legs and arms or whatever.
Yeah.
Turtles eat grubs. for
So
sure.
so with that, Maris, the Bones comes up and puts his mouth on the incision wounds of where the rot grubs entered, and begins to. It feels like it's warm and it's wet, and it has like it's a tighter grip than you think you've ever felt. And then Bones starts spitting out, and you see the bodies of these rot grubs that he's removed from the inside of your skin. I
like
Tie
that?
them in a little, like a cherry stem.
Let's be very clear. He's not spitting them out. He's sucking them down.
Yeah, eating them. Yeah.
Like a cherry
It's my sustenance.
Also-
Can I get more HP for this?
Also, Maris is now a human boba tea. Just
Yeah.
getting the little nodes sucked out of him and chomped down on.
That reminds me of that movie, was it Lightning Jack with Sinbad and Crocodile Dundee?
Oh my god, I don't know.
Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan, yeah, it was a pretty bad movie. Yeah, so with that, the rot grubs have been defeated, and you are no longer in initiative order. Let me just repeat the description of this room for you guys then, since it's been a week. Shoulder height wooden bottle racks line the north and west walls here. There appear to be no intact bottles left in the racks, and shattered bottles cover the floor. Against the east wall, at the foot of the stairs, rest 2 large metal storage bins that appear to be empty. In the center of the room lies a humanoid corpse clad in plate mail. A long sword lies by the corpse's right side, and a large shield covers its legs.
Take a seat on one of these crates, just sort of like pass out, a little exhausted. Like, does anyone have a healing potion or ability that might help me out here?
No, nope. Just good ideas on how to get them worms out of you. No healing potions over here.
Me sucking you for an hour didn't feel good.
Oh Jesus!
TOS,
Uh,
TOS.
Yeah. So
The worms.
I'll hand him over the potion of healing.
Since Nimbus is there, kind of in between, they'll take the potion and hand it on over, and then kind of quietly to Maris, he goes, "Is that what he tells people an hour is like? That was hardly 3 minutes." And hand over.
Mr. Bones, taking a look at this body here, semi like he's being prepped for burial at sea, or does that look more haphazard, like he just fell there?
I think there's more shark shit going on here.
Bones, give me an investigation check, please.
That's great.
Do I roll a 20?
Yeah, that's a d20, and then add your investigation modifier, which is on your character sheet under new skills. It's about halfway down.
Investigation +1, so it's an 8.
That's an 8. So this is actually a dwarf creature wearing plate mail, and the plate mail is banged up a little bit, and it doesn't appear to be banged up from weapons. If it had been a mace or a club or something, the indentions would look different. This appears to be just like a beatdown on this dwarf that may have caused his death. What little of his face is left from not being eaten away by the rot grubs, you can see like broken cheekbone and like indentions in his skull and stuff. He has a long sword that's laying nearby that seems fairly well made, and a shield at the bottom of his legs that also appears to be fairly well made. One other thing is that as you're looking at him, his hands are sort of palms up. He has very, very calloused hands. These hands are hands that are used to these are workman's hands. You would almost think that he was a sailor, perhaps, but or some sort of laborer, someone that used tools or had things in his hands all the time because of the number of calluses and the way his hands look.
Is there anything to indicate that he was here with me, maybe? Would I notice that, looking at him?
Make an investigation check while you're doing that. Bones, continue, please.
Corey, I don't feel right about any of this shit. There's a goddamn...
It's a 22.
Yeah, it's a goddamn...
There's a room full of skeletons. There's a guy, a monk in the basement raising the dead. There's a hobo on repeat. As soon as we walk through the door, he keeps saying the same shit over and over again. None of this shit makes sense to me.
Don't forget about the acid pits downstairs as well. That makes even little sense as well.
Like, I thought we were gonna come here and get sucked off by the dwarf.
God.
Dead. This plot is opened up to so many. There's so much going on. I don't know what to say.
I am with Mr. Bones. There's quite a bit at play here. I think it would suit us well to finish our mission and stay the night. And as soon as the break of dawn has come, we must bring our captive to the authorities. And we need to make light of what we have found here and see what the local authorities have to say.
So, Half Point, you've been around here before a few times walking through the area. You ever had rock slides or anything of the sort? What do you think ended up dinking up this guy's armor?
So, while I'm looking at him, can I I assume when I'm building armor, I would know the size of weapon strikes. Obviously, I know they're not weapon strikes. Is there anything that looks obvious about what it is other than just large destruction?
Yeah, so with your 2022 investigation check, you were able to assess a few other things. His hands are definitely, those are Smith's hands. You can tell by the burn marks on the back of his hands and the soot that has been stained into his fingers. This dwarf was a smith. A smith that spent quite a bit of time in a forge working. You also, as you're moving the body, you find underneath him a pack. It seems like in his last moments he sort of this pack landed underneath him and he was trying to cover it with his body. As you pull the pack out, it's a typical explorer's pack, so it's got some torches, some rope. It has everything except the food and rations. The rations and water, excuse me, are missing. But also you pull out this smith's hammer, and it is the most well crafted. As you're holding it in your hand, the balance of it is the most well crafted. It's the best smith's hammer you've ever seen. And so much so that this masterfully crafted, well-crafted smith's hammer will give advantage on smith's checks if you were to use it to do a smithing activity. So
Nice. Well, I'm gonna pick that up. Well, he's obviously, if he's not with me, he's just like me. So I don't recognize the hands because dwarf hands all look, like this. But I can tell you, he's clearly a craftsman of some sort. Definitely worked with a forge, and I'm gonna show the hammer to him, and I'll be like, "And this is without a doubt the most beard-blessed hammer I've ever seen in my life." And I'm gonna hold it up and maybe drop the shield, and then
Is Warren from this town?
Warren's been here for a little while.
So would he know the smithies?
He knows the shops in town, and he does know of a shop called the Dwarven Anvil. But the Dwarven Anvil isn't run by dwarves; it's run by a couple of humans. Mafara is the man that runs the establishment, and his daughter Jask works with him.
They wear dwarf face.
What what you notice when you're holding the hammer up, though, Warren, two things. One, there's a symbol on the side of the hammer engraved into it, and you recognize the symbol as being the symbol of the Dwarven Anvil shop. Their shop sign that hangs out of the shop. You notice the symbol on the side of that hammer. Additionally, in the wood, engraved in, it's definitely a carving. It's not well done. Clearly, someone who carved this isn't known for their woodworking, and it says Forge Worn is carved into the side of the wood on the handle.
Does he have any type of recognizable marks on him, or any other types of things that would say that this is an earring or any of the sort?
There's no, as you look at the body, there's no jewelry. Anything of value appears to have been removed, with the exception of the armor that's laying here.
I recommend then we grab his pack with the mark on it and bring that back to town. Perhaps might be able to find some reward. You smiths, what do? Do you burn your bodies? How do you take care of them?
Well, the dwarves, I think, just pile up under the ground where we belong, and put rocks on top of it so the, underdark type things don't get at you. But I don't know what this certain dwarf's beliefs are. I know some of you follow other beliefs.
I would recommend we rest the rest of these grubworm bodies just to make sure this does not happen again. Point to my bloody stumps.
Yeah, this is pretty obviously not from bloodworms, though, right? Like him being dead.
He
got bludgeoned, and then the worms came upon him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give
me a medicine check, actually. Bones, I guess, since you were the first one, or Nimbus if you're inspecting the body now. Yep.
Yeah. You want to maybe assist me with it if you're proficient in medicine. Otherwise, Nimbus can come make the assessment.
I have 12 plus 0, so 12.
Okay.
So you're easily able to identify that this person died of bludgeoning attacks. It was likely fists or light clubs. This wasn't. There's no slashing or piercing wounds on him. He was beat to death.
Yep. Judging by the sounds coming from that locked door, Maybe he fell victim to that force. I just don't understand why we'd be leaving the bodies down here. I mean, look at all these broken bottles. That's alcohol abuse all around.
It's not the only thing that's been abused down here, but I agree it's one of the most egregious beside this dwarf corpse.
I'm also thinking that he's not the first. We're not the first people that've been sent down here to look at all this shit. You know this. You know this.
Well, I think that's probably not true because of the amount of good things here. I can tell this armor is well crafted. That sword is well made, and this hammer, it is, like I said, beard blessed, and it's got my last name on it.
So you should know.
Devin, go ahead.
So you should know, like, what is this? Obviously, they sent someone else down here. We're not the first people.
Let's pretend for a moment this is a turtle body. Would you have any idea what the fuck we were looking at?
No.
That's what I fucking thought. Don't you be throwing accusations at me.
There's no accusations. There's obviously that someone has some shit going on there. There's zombies. There's fucking monks. There's fucking weird shit. There's ooze that's melting people's bodies.
The DM just rolled initiative, so we probably ought to move on.
No, you're fine.
I think we are the first to make it this far, but yes, I don't think we are the first victims of this house.
I'm saying fuck the wicker goat. I'm gonna go down there and tear that asshole's throat in half.
Well, as much as I'd love to see that with Monastrad, she hasn't technically done anything wrong. Remember, she's just trying to secure the road for the mine.
Except supplying these assholes with whiskey.
No.
Oh, yeah, well.
Just because they have some whiskey here.
Oh, just because they're along with the zombie plot, we shouldn't have anything to know about that.
All right. Well, we don't know the zombies and the Surf Neblin or whatever his name was, they're related.
Sambalat.
The Smarties was related. I'm gonna start looting the... I've decided that's a trait, is I'm just gonna always get proper names wrong.
Yeah, no, I love it. So two things. One, as you were talking about, the plate mail, the shield, and the sword are all completely usable. It's a standard plate mail, standard longsword, standard shield. So
and if it's a dwarf, so
the plate mail definitely fits a dwarf. So do as you see fit with that. Secondly, you said that your last name is Forgeworn. Remember, the reason your last name is Forge. All dwarfs share one of four last names: Steelbreaker, Ironbeard. There's the other clans. Sorry.
Forgeworn.
No, Forgeworn is not one of them actually.
Clanless.
Clanless. Yeah, so it's either Steelbreaker, Greydigger, Gemfoot, or Ironbeard. Those are the four clans of dwarves that live the land. Anyone who has been removed from their clan as clanless is called Forgeworn. So this gentleman, the hammer he had Forgeworn on the side of it.
And is Warren Forgeworn?
Warren is Forgeworn. He introduced himself as such.
You, dude. I'll be right back.
Can you join the Gravediggers so we can?
I have to go. I have to take a piss. I'm joking. I'll be right back.
Well, while he's doing that, I'm gonna toss the scale mail that I was not quite putting on, and I'm just gonna get naked in front of everybody, start throwing on this guy's plate.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
I'll huff this potion while he's doing that.
I don't know how long does that take. How does that happen?
It's about 15 minutes to don heavy armor.
Well, I'm gonna look at the elf, be like, "Hey, come help me put this on."
Nimbus is gonna stop you, Maris, from drinking that potion, and confer with the group and go, my friends, before we exhaust one of these precious potions, I do have some ability to heal magically should we want to take our time and rest and recuperate so that I can gather my abilities back afterward.
I mean, outside of that other basement, I believe we have abated any type of threat to the immediate area. We can hold up here.
I agree. I recommend we should rest and treat our wounds here in this room where it is safe, and then come the dawn, we can investigate what is behind the door before we head back to town.
Yeah, it is closing in on 1 a.m. It's probably about 12:30, 12:45 with the combat and the
That's
searching
perfect,
and talking and everything. So
yeah, so
Okay,
ideally
the
we
rest
would want to
probably
get
makes
a long rest and then go check out that door and then go back.
Today's date is what?
Oh, I'm so glad that you asked that question. So now that we are in the 1 o'clock hour, it is now the first of the month after New Sun, which according to our calendar.
Oh shit, my rent.
Yeah, your rent is definitely due at this point if you haven't paid it. Oh my God, where did my calendar go?
Yes,
there it goes.
let's wait for Devin to get back here.
Yeah, so it's
My friends-
it's the first of Pale Sun, Monday the first,
friends-
Moon Day the first of Pale Sun.
I believe that what we should do is rest here, and tomorrow, the first of the month, we go visit the Bone Thugs in the door behind the chains upstairs.
God.
And check the upstairs. We still
To
haven't.
get up. It's the first of the month.
Oh Christ!
Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
Oh, morning.
Okay.
Those bone thugs.
Yep. So
Um,
we're taking a long rest. Go ahead, Warren. Sorry.
Does that scale mail fit Devin or the turtle bones?
Which scale mail? The scale mail that you were wearing, or the scale mail that you picked
The
up?
one I picked up. I was wearing chainmail. I picked up some Mariner scale mail.
Yep.
Last session.
I had indicated it as Mariner scale mail in your inventory. You won't know what it is until after a
Oh,
long
right.
rest. So during
Okay,
the long, so if during this rest you want to study the item to understand what it is, you can spend the time during the rest, your downtime, to figure out what it is.
All right, I will do that.
Cool. So I got what you're doing during the rest. I need a watch order. You all have to sleep for at least 6 hours, with the exception of Lee, who only needs 4 hours of sleep. And then during the rest of the 8-hour window, it's light activity. So for the 2 hours of light activity for Warren, he's going to be studying the scale mail armor, and I need a watch order.
Yeah. Nimbus is happy to do a watch.
That's
Check
one.
Check
Two.
with you other three.
2 for Maris.
What do I roll for it?
No, nothing yet. I'm just trying to establish a watch order.
Actually,
I'll join the second half of the night with whoever. Recommend, boys. We have somebody watching the door, and everybody else asleep somewhere nearby.
Bones
Yep.
is gonna talk to Valkorian real quick.
What would you like to say?
I don't know what's going on here, but with this dead body here, the wicker goat, Warren, like I thought we were all on the same page, but I feel I don't feel right about any of this anymore.
Oh, Mr. Bones, it puts a bad taste in my mouth as well. Not as bad as probably the taste in yours, but I don't have a stomach.
It actually tasted really good.
Well, then
I'm a turtle.
Tastes like butter.
Nimbus in the background is using some of his saved up reserves, and he drags the body off to the side, given that Warren was investigating and getting the armor and whatnot off of him. He's kind of spraying down the place, spitting water down where all the goo was, and kind of clearing out the area and cleaning it off.
Okay. Okay.
So Mr. Bones, I'd recommend. Yeah, we've got to see what's on the other side of that door.
I agree. I'm saying keep an eye out, and we have to go up there now. We have to see what's on the other side of that door. But keep an eye out, Valkorian.
Will do, Mr. Bones. Will do.
and then I'm gonna come interrupt their conversation and realize that that shield also looks good, and I'm also more interested in it than I am this scale mail. So I'm gonna like tap the turtle on the shell and be like, excuse me, would you like to take a look over at this and decide what it may or may not be, and decide if you want to have it loaned to you, with emphasis on the loaned, while we're down here? I'm more interested in the shield over there, and I'd like to take a look at that while we're doing nothing.
It's all yours, Warren.
All right.
I don't want any of it.
Okay, great. And I'll just walk back over and start fumbling with the shield.
He goes, I don't want any of it. And
All
he
right.
picks up and eats another grub off the ground.
Exactly.
All right, so I've got Nimbus on first watch, and followed by Maris, and then Valkorian's going to take the last two remaining 2-hour blocks of watch. Okay, great. So that's our watch order. During downtime, Warren, you spend some time with that armor, and you do in fact discover that it is Mariner scale armor. This armor in particular, while wearing this armor, you have a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. In addition, whenever you start your turn underwater with 0 hit points, the armor causes you to float 60 feet towards the surface. So it's kind of like a blowing the bilge. I think is that what the submarines do, right? When they
Bless you.
But
And
you're feeling awfully dumb now, turtle.
So you've got that armor, and it
Yeah,
is.
naturally, asshole.
All right.
Have to be dead.
So during the downtime, anyone else want to do anything else in particular?
Nimbus is for sure going to start studying the Fulgarath book.
I'm gonna sit in the corner and
Jerk off.
yeah,
Okay.
Alright.
I'm paranoid now.
Is that what turtles do when they're parent? No.
Like a
No,
scared
no.
turtle.
All right. So
I'm sitting. Okay, here's what I'm sitting at the table and I'm rolling my dice, looking at the whole
Oh, yeah.
table,
nice.
Oh.
the whole room.
So I got.
Before
Go ahead.
Before I bed down, hey, one of you boys come over here and help me with this. And I'm going to take some of the broken bottle pieces, go to the floor above us, and kind of put some of the glass
Nice.
down so that we would hear it if somebody's walking around up there.
Cool.
Perfect.
Give me a sleight of hand check, just because it's setting a trap and type thing, and I think that's probably the one that makes sense.
No skullduggery.
Yeah, it's like as close to skullduggery as you can get, right? So.
So that's a 16.
All right. One other thing I needed you to do, Lee, that I forgot to have you do, Valkorian do when he first started the stream, is
Taking my shirt off.
you were the person responsible for tying up the prisoner, and so I need you to make an additional sleight of hand check. This sets the DC difficulty of the rope tying for. So what is the total?
15.
Awesome. Okay, thank
Okay.
you. Yep. Using Xanathar's guide to everything, there's a way to set ropes and tying and stuff.
I like
so.
that.
Oh, the chapter on light bondage. Very good.
Yeah, it's before the BDSM chapter actually.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
a precursor. If no one else is doing anything, we're just going to progress into the long rest period then. All right. So starting at the top with Nimbus. Nimbus, in looking at the book, the Heroes of Zanal by the scholar Dinlis Fulgarath, who we discussed last week, Maris recognized that name. He was a scholar of some renown from the Enclave of Fulgur, where you're from, who had written a book about the Heroes of Zanal, another enclave. What was important to the two of you is that you know about 18 years ago, Zonal set forth a large contingent. They had been reached out to by the Sea Elves of the Prime Material Plane needing some support. And this book talks about the Heroes of Zanal had a long history of coming to the surface, the Prime Material Plane, I should say, to assist the Sea Elves and the Elves, the Tail Treaders. And this talks about various escapades of various Heroes of Zanal who would come to the Prime Material Plane and come back. When Dinlis had heard about 18 years ago that Zanal was going to set forth again after having written this book, he wanted to go and witness for himself the escapades of the Zanalgarath, and had set upon with those folks. And since that time, no one has seen or heard from Dinlis or that entourage that had set forth from Zanal. They've been
Cool.
missing. So whether
Had
this
either of us heard that story before?
you knew the story about Dinlis disappearing, Maris, because he was a scholar of some renown. The book just talks about over the last few centuries various heroes that have done things from Zanal. So
Add some color.
yeah, this all comes back to your mind, and so you obviously you don't know if this was Dinlis's personal book or not, but it does. You're like, oh, Dinlis Fulgarath, he, you know who he was and
Yeah.
stuff. So just
Cool.
various tales and whatnot. Cool.
Awesome.
All right, roll me a perception check during your watch, please.
All right.
And I did want to read one of these books while we're bedding down.
Mm-hmm. I'll get to you in
12.
just a moment. 12?
Okay.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, as you're sitting doing your watch and you're looking through the book and you're keeping the bullseye lantern lit, at one point as you're sort of doing a scan of the room to see what's going on in the darkened recesses, your lantern picks up a glitter of a reflection a bit of a light from the corner over here. As you pass the lantern over, you sort of see the light reflected back at you, just momentarily.
Great. I'm gonna tiptoe over, try and not disturb anyone, and go check it out.
Give me a stealth check, please.
That'll suck.
It's not wrong.
Hang on.
What?
13. Not bad.
Not bad. All right.
It's the 18.
The 18. I was rolling at disadvantage, so I take the lower of the two.
Yeah, so you think that you're being fairly stealthy as you make your way into the corner, and you're holding the lantern out in front of you, and as you get closer, the light reflects more and more and more, and you see that it's reflecting off, it appears that in the recesses in between the two shelves there's a bottle on the ground back there.
I'll grab it.
So you grab the bottle and you pick it up, and on the side of the bottle it has a unicorn with some rainbows behind it, and the label says Zinfis bestows fairy fire.
Awesome. I dump it out on the ground. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So you pick it up, and you don't know much about the spirits or anything. You do recall though that this had been talked about at the Wicker Goat with Monastrad.
Right.
And
right.
so
I do remember that.
Yep. It does register in your mind. So please add a bottle of Zinfis bestows fairy fire to your inventory. And
does my face feel okay? It doesn't change in temperature at all?
It's close. It's close to that. Actually, I have a picture of it that I'll bring up while I'm talking here.
We're drinking Montucky cold snacks.
Your face
No.
Your face feels fine. I don't.
Okay.
Did you want me to touch
No
your
hot
face?
face.
No
Okay.
hot face. No.
Okay.
I get where you're going. Sorry. Yeah. So add the bottle, and the gold cost in that it's 50. So if you want to
Wow.
put that
And what are we calling it? Bottle of what?
bottle of Zinfis,
How do I spell Zinfis?
Zenfis.
Got it.
And yeah, so if you look at the stream for just a moment, I'm putting up a picture of the bottle on stream. I should have added as a resource in
Roll
Roll
20.
20, but I did not. But yeah, so
Is that a real thing?
it's two
It is a real
unicorns
I can
standing.
hear the laugh up in the distance.
I smell butter on the air.
God
Yeah,
damn.
and
Send me some of that.
Valkorian, as you're sleeping, all of a sudden in your dream, there's a giant mayonnaise pit, and you smell nothing but mayonnaise. Just
That's butter.
just
It's
mayonnaise.
supposed to be a butter pit. Come on.
Oh, I know, but he smells mayonnaise.
That's disgusting. Here it is.
All right, second watch. After anything else on your watch, Nimbus?
No, I think not. So he'll add that to his bag. I'll mention it at convenience in the morning that I kept a bottle of liquor. I don't want to have stolen it like secretly or anything. But yeah, after his watch is done, he'll go nudge Maris and tell him it's time for his watch.
All right, Maris, your watch. Of the books that you have, is there any one in particular that you wanted to look at?
I like how to talk like a pirate.
So as you're flipping through the book, it's got some pretty rudimentary artwork in it. But one of the pages that stands out to you is there. It appears to be a picture of a scrappy young girl, and she says, "I shall storm." The bubble above her, the text that should, "I shall storm the beaches and I shall slay the kingsmen." And then as you turn the next page, it's another roughly drawn picture of a short man with a peg leg and a hat, and he says, "Arr! But you said the words, but you didn't talk like a pirate. What you should have said is, I stormed the landlubbers, and I've taken my scimitar, and I've pierced them through." And it's just a tale about a pirate who's trying to form a pirate crew, and he goes through various people, and he rejects each of them because they don't talk like a pirate. So it's very clearly a children's book.
All right.
Interesting.
And my watch.
Yep. Roll me a perception check, please.
Rolling. 13.
All right.
Yeah. Your watch passes without hearing anything, and or noticing anything. Next up, Valkorian. Anything you'd like to do during your watch period?
I would like to get a feel for that second floor, where they would be sending out the message.
Okay.
Get a feel for, what kind of field of view would I have towards the sea, and then just gonna make my way back down.
Okay, so you're going to move up to the second floor. So let me grab you.
Is the music coming through on the stream also?
Yeah.
Because this is wonderfully creepy. It's so good.
Yeah, that's what I've been listening to.
Super good.
Bring you up to the first floor.
It's a great and your watch is ended. Now what happens the next watch?
Yeah. It's creepy.
Little piano stings like in LA
Yeah.
Noir. Like, oh,
Yeah. I'm on edge.
So if we haven't gone up, and I apologize for not being familiar, but if we haven't gone all the way to the second floor yet, since I was out last week, I don't want to go to undiscovered territory.
Yeah,
se.
so
Yeah.
eventually, essentially, what you have that I've taken you to do is that you go to the bottom step, and as you enter the main area on the first floor, you again notice some debris has fallen down from the ceiling above, and as you creep up the steps they're not missing any steps, but there's definitely some weak parts of the steps. It's something that you clearly know that you'd want to be careful trying to traverse at speed. And as you get to the top of the landing here and you kind of look left and right, the room is it's dark. The time of the month that it is, we don't have both moons full, so it's not really well lit at night. There is a window at the end of each hallway that is providing some light here, but it's not enough to light up to see very far any details outside of your dark vision, just shapes and colors. But you do notice as you look to the left, that circular area there, the floor seems to slump in slightly. Not enough to be it's not like a depression, but it's definitely, as you're looking down the hallway, you can see that it kind of
The whole hallway or just the floor?
that the area that's circled here, if you
Yeah.
see the sort of drawing, it's kind of like a watermarked floor. So there's watermarks on the floor in that area, kind of spread out.
You mean like
Right.
waterlogged? Like it's like
Yeah, waterlogged. So it's
Okay.
slightly
it's like got it.
depressed. Yep.
Just like me.
What? Soggy and depressed.
Wet and slightly depressed.
Right.
Remember, I want everyone to remember that there are people that love you, and if you are feeling sad or
No,
depressed,
I don't agree with that.
Wait, no, I do agree with that. Billy was talking to the chat. In which
I was
he-
talking to Aaron.
Yeah,
I was talking
Nobody likes Aaron.
yeah, no,
I'm sorry, Warren.
yeah. I was just saying,
Both.
people in general, don't
The
be
chat's
depressed.
great.
Chat, we love you.
So,
Aaron,
Valkorian,
fuck
seeing
off.
this, is there anything else that you'd like to do?
Lifeguard.
No, just make a note of it, and I'll come back down.
Okay, no worries. So as you make your way back to the cellar, and roll me a perception check, please.
18.
18. You did notice when you were at the top of the stair, doors to the left and to the right down that hallway. There's obviously rooms on the second floor there to look into.
Doors.
You didn't hear any. You didn't hear any movement. You didn't hear. You didn't. The dust on the floor upstairs was pretty thick, so you didn't see any signs of travel.
Right.
Okay, so with that, the sun rises. The house, the light spills down from the cellar door above into the cellar.
All right, Tussputts, on your feet. Let's get moving.
Providing some dim lighting, and it is the first of Pale Sun, Moon Day. And you guys can as you look out, well, you haven't looked outside yet, but it's definitely it's daylight, so it's about 9 in the morning, as it were. So the sun is definitely up.
Long rest. Everybody click it.
Yep. So
I
in your
think-
character sheets, guys, make sure to click long rest.
Oh shit. I think I'm over capacity.
Yes, you absolutely are, with the scale armor and the plate mail and everything else. So you are definitely encumbered at this point.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take the mail and just throw it. I'm just gonna hold it up in the room and be like, "Can anybody wear this? I cannot walk while I'm holding it."
I think
The
I
scale
can.
mail, not the plate mail.
So armor proficiencies, I do have heavy armor proficiency, and I'm
Oh no, this is
currently
medium.
wearing. It's medium. Okay.
Yep.
I have that too. Medium, light, and heavy.
Yep.
I'm
Scale mail's only
currently
medium.
wearing chainmail.
That's
and
what I was wearing too.
That's what you have, right? That's what you're like offering up is chainmail.
Yeah. No, it's scale.
He's
Is
offering
there
up the Mariner's
a-
scale mail that he found that has the
Is
the
there
fish
a
and the
stealth
shells.
restriction
There is.
like you have with your chainmail? Okay.
Yeah, scale is disadvantage for stealth.
What stealth?
Yeah.
So would that be scale mail medium armor different from chainmail heavy armor? It's not as much armor.
Yeah,
so I'm good.
scale mail only has AC 14. Chain
Yep.
has an AC 16.
Yeah, so I'll yeah.
I'm gonna wave it in front of the turtle. Be like, "Does anybody want this?"
Nobody wants it.
No, I understand it, but obviously they sent a lone fucking like hero down here to search for this shit. Obviously nobody understands this except me. It drives me crazy that nobody understands that this lone asshole got bludgeoned, beat to death down here. And there's
And why won't you take the scale mail we found on the hobgoblin? Do I have any tinfoil? Can I put it on the fucking turtle?
I don't
it might
understand what's
fit
happening.
me. I don't fucking want it.
All right. Well, will somebody carry it at least? Will somebody carry this at least?
What does it weigh?
45 pounds.
Yep.
I think I can carry it then.
Okay. So add the scale mail, the Mariners scale mail to your inventory, and you should be fine. Cool. So morning rises. You all are scooting about. Yep. What are your actions, players? Everyone should have a reset health at this point.
Oh wait. Shit,
Right.
I forgot to,
Everybody quick long rest.
I forgot to do that. I'm doing it now.
Well, you boys were dreaming away. I took a quick walk through the house just to make sure that the area around here was quite all right. Started to make my way up to the second floor. There's a Boeing in the central hallway up there and a few doors. We may want to go ahead and check those out before we start dealing with the door on the other side. See if there's anything else we can help us bring to bear against what might be facing us.
Suspect more traps in the same way we have found the other ones.
Yes, let us go and investigate and see if there is anything of interest before we move along to the door that clearly is going to cause us some trouble, and we may be finding ourselves at the foot of another combat with many foes behind that door. So let us find any supplies that we can to help, and then finish the cleansing of this place before we move on. Does anybody
Right.
want to go and check on our captor, or should we finish our business before?
It makes sense for us to go and check in on him. Make sure he's still nestled at home like a pig in a blanket. Mr. Bones, as we make our way up to the second floor, and taking a look at you, Nimbus, as well. You're both stout lads. Make sure you keep your spacing as we're going up the stairs there. They're quite rickety.
I'm gonna decrement one ration, and I'm gonna decrement another one too, because I'm gonna give one to our guy when we get there.
Okay. Yep. So you guys make your way upstairs over the trapdoor and then back downstairs into the cellar. Sunlight streams out from this area here, from the open cave mouth from the on the south there, and your prisoner is still tied up to a bottle of brandy. Valkorian, roll me a perception check, please.
He's wasted.
12.
Yeah. So he's tied up, but you can definitely tell some of the rope that you've used. Some of the edges on the rope are frayed. He clearly has been trying to rub his ropes on the wood with friction to try to break them.
Mr. Bones, whenever you eat too many bananas and things just kind of escape. We were pretty close to bananas with this one.
It's pretty good.
I'm done. I'm leaving the stream. We're done.
I'm done.
Incredible.
Lee,
Great job.
give yourself an inspiration for that one. You locked me up.
Right.
So I'm gonna lean over to either one of the Tritons. Both of them are like, what is a banana?
Yeah, you landlubbers would know.
Okay, Bones just gonna talk to him real quick. Just be like, can you look at my teeth? Can you see the bone matter, the flesh, the blood of your fellow friend that I've melted my face through? Do you want that to be you?
He shakes his
Stay
head
here.
furiously. And you shake his head up and down, yes.
I know you've done a good job. I do the same thing. But if we come back and you're gone, I will melt my face through your face.
He's
again.
he's nodding his head like this. He's gagged and his arms are tied, so he can't move much.
We didn't gag him. He can talk.
I'm pretty sure you guys said you gagged him. You tied the
Is
finger
there,
on his mouth.
is there anything we want to ask him about what we discovered?
I don't know, Mr. Conspiracy Theorist. Was there anything you'd like to ask him?
He doesn't know anything.
Yeah, we already.
I
asked
wanted to kill him. You're the asshole who wanted to keep him
Yeah.
alive. So
Yeah,
if
I
this,
stand
I
by
would
that.
right
Warren
fuck it
is-
now if it was up to you.
Warren is not gonna allow you to do that to somebody
That's
that has
fine.
surrendered.
Yeah, that's fine. So Nimbus goes over and he's gonna feed him a ration and give him some water and be like,
Ugh.
"Soon enough, my friend, you'll be safe back in town. We just have a little more business to attend to," and then replace the gag in his mouth as soon as he's done eating.
Well, I want to thank you for.
I'm gonna mind his bindings again.
Yeah,
Right.
reestablish them.
Get
Roll
that
me a
squared away.
sleight of hand check at advantage this time,
Ooh, yes, please.
since you're reapplying ropes
Bones
that are
is
already
gonna
tied.
crack open another keg.
Well, there hadn't been one open yet, so you're going to open
yeah,
one
no,
now.
it was open.
No, we opened
No,
one. Remember?
You decided not to.
No, we didn't.
Really?
Yeah,
We didn't open one.
Warren asked you guys not to do that because he didn't want to let him have access to it.
That's
Yeah.
silly. Okay.
So a 17 plus 6, 23.
Yeah, so as soon as Nimbus puts the gag back in his mouth and you tie his hands, he is rigid as F. Yeah, he can't move at all with the new application of time that you've done. So he is very well tied up, hog-tied.
I bet the narrator's quite stiff himself seeing me do all this light bondage.
Can you slap him around a bit and call him some dirty names?
Okay, that's enough. We have work to do. And Nimbus is gonna get up and go ahead. Back.
Right.
All
Let's head up to the second floor.
All right, so let me put you all up here, drag this over here, and now I believe that you all should be able to see yourselves.
Nimbus, right there where you're standing. Watch out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that's where I pasted you in. Sorry, I wasn't.
Um.
I don't move you guys around in your order. I'm assuming that you're still on the stairs, so whoever is gonna be first. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to be in the front. Unless
Oh,
anybody
you're
has-
not exactly the most quiet of folks.
But I am the most stout. You see this, and I'll hit the new plate that I have.
Switching spots, right behind Valkorian. Thank you.
All right, but I'll be like, have it your way, little missy, and let him go on by. I guess I'll be right behind him though. My
Oh.
short legs keep me out of combat if we get into combat and I have to run very far.
All right. So I'll do a stealth or more deliberate movement as we're coming up here, noting the decay in the wood, walking it like I'm walking across yard arms, just testing each step, and then paying particular attention to that depression.
Okay. So just start moving yourself in that direction for me, please. All right. The stairs show considerable wear and creak ominously when tread upon, but remain strong and supporting when climbing to the second floor. As you put your foot on the first board in that area, roll me a dexterity saving throw at advantage, please.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Yeah, that is +6. Okay. Natural 20.
Yeah. So
we
you
go.
you're gingerly touching the boards in front of you, toe heel like all elves, and as you go toe heel on that first step into that wood, the entire area about 10 feet collapses down into the living area below, and there's now a gap about 10 foot wide on the floor in front of you, as you're able to deftly jump back as the wood collapsed underneath you, and now that area in gray is now an open area.
Right. So not gonna charge him for the remodeling.
Yeah, I'm gonna start following up too at the commotion. I can't get up there, but that looks like a problem, my friends. What does the hole lead down to? Where would you have fallen into?
It's
I'm
the
concerned.
it's the living area below. So
Okay.
there was this giant entrance hall that you came, and there was stairs on the right hand
Got it.
side, and there was a balcony up
You can
above.
see. Got it.
Yeah,
got it,
so
got it.
the area with the pillars on it in the center, that's an overlook into the lobby
Okay.
below. Yep.
Okay. Is there a leak in the ceiling above where the ground was damaged? What
Yeah.
caused this?
As you look up, you can see watermarks
Okay.
in the ceiling above, and you recall from being when you were outside the house, there were definitely holes. There was areas of the roof
Yep.
that were missing.
Yep. There you go.
All right. I'm gonna make a leap across it.
Easy enough done. Yep. There's not even it's a 7 foot wide gap, and with I think you can you can jump a total of your strength, I think is
Yeah.
what it is. So your strength is well over 7, so you're able to make that no problem. And
What do I see down these two hallways?
yep, revealing that now. So
And Bones is gonna say like Valkorian, what the fuck? Be careful.
Right.
you see that. So to the north, you see 2 more doors, and then at the end of the hallway, it appears to open up back to the east. There are multiple windows on the west end of the house there. Like all the windows, they're dirty, so they're not quite see through, but light is definitely going through them from the sun outside. Being the month of pale sun, you're just getting into the heat of the upward swing of summer.
Right. We got sunny days up and out here. There's a few doors up here. If somebody'd like to help me clear.
Nimbus will come along for sure. Make that jump over too.
I'm gonna head to the right because there's doors over here.
I can't jump over that shit. So I'm just gonna go with Warren.
You can.
You can.
Yeah, you're fine. Your jumps, your
Strength.
you can. Yeah, you can jump up to your strength value in feet.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Like not the
I
plus,
thought it was
but
like
like your
a
actual
giant
value.
leap.
So
So I was thinking
Oh.
it was like a 15-foot leap.
yeah, you can do
And I
that.
was like,
It's
only 7.
It's only 7 foot, yeah, and like Dan's
Oh.
saying, it's your strength. So if your strength is above 7, you can make the jump without problem.
Which it is for sure.
I'll still go with Warren. I told him to be careful.
No, I want to split the party.
Nope. Nope.
All right. So who's opening what door for? I didn't catch who was doing what first. Sorry.
Nimbus is just
Yeah,
following.
Nimbus goes, or sorry, Lee goes first.
All right,
Yep.
Lee. So how do you open the door, please?
So I want.
Extreme prejudice.
Yeah. No. I see that the door is there.
Doors.
I turn back to Nimbus and I go, shh, and then start to open it up. And I'm thinking simultaneously, there's a door assault going down at the end of the hallway.
Yeah, think correctly, lad.
Nice.
All right. So what are you doing with your door, Warren?
I'm gonna open it very gingerly. I'm gonna say very nice things about it.
And then blast
and
it
I'm
to
gonna kick it
pieces.
and kick it as hard as I can.
Okay. All right. So we have a door being kicked in. So simultaneously, you guys are assaulting these doors.
SEAL Team 5.
1 second. We lost our music. I'm just bringing it back up again.
Yep.
Take 2
Mm.
seconds.
Also, I think the music has door noises in it, and one of them happened to be while he was opening the
It
door.
does. Yep. It
Like
sure
that was-
does.
A thing.
All right, so
Nice.
got the music back up again. Sorry. Yeah, so we open this door here. Boom. So with a crash, the door is kicked open. As you gingerly open your door, you hear a door being just demolished to your to your right. I'm not hearing any music.
I am.
I hear the wind.
Yeah.
I hear like.
Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
there
Okay.
it goes.
All right, cool.
Piano. Yeah.
Whoa.
All right.
Nice.
So,
Creepy.
Valkorian, the room you entered, damp mold covers portions of the walls and ceiling in this large bedroom, and rubbish is strewn liberally around the floor. In the center is a single mattress that has been badly torn, from which stuffing protrudes. Under the window sits a large wooden chest, the timbers split and its lid closed. Warren, the room that you have kicked in, and then we'll adjudicate your room, Lee. This room appears to be another dirty, decaying bedroom without furniture. Even viewed from the doorway, it's evident that the floor in here does not look safe. Some of the floorboards are missing, and others are partially dislodged.
Oh.
Yep.
Creepy creak sound.
So we'll start with Valkorian, and then we'll shift to Warren. Valkorian, what are you doing with this room?
So take a step in, point towards the rubble pile, and then walk over to, with my rapier drawn, and kind of poke and move around the mattress to see if there's any critters within it.
Yep. Roll me a d20, please.
Just straight D20?
Yep. You're adding your perception check. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. $13.
You don't notice anything in the bedding. It appears to be heavily destroyed, not usable by any means. You do notice out of the corner of your eye, as you're poking at the mattress and the chest, some bundles of documents, some ragged clothing, kind of hanging out of the chest. But from this distance, at least, everything appears to be fairly worn and damaged.
Right. Nimbus, what are you seeing?
I'm gonna investigate this. Let's see. Matching 13.
Yeah, this fireplace hasn't been lit in quite some time. Cobwebs hang from within it. A large layer of dust and mold seems to be formed up. It appears that the chimney above has been dripping into this room for quite some time. It smells of damp. It smells of the sea. It's just a moldy, decrepit, disgusting room, it appears.
Nimbus, I mean, I guess from that description, he probably doesn't have any indication that anything is fishy about this necessarily, but he's still going to use his mace and just kind of poke at the back of the fireplace and at the ground of the fireplace, kind of test for structural integrity, given that it's so moldy.
Yep, we'll use the same roll that you have.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems pretty sturdy overall. Like the foundation of the house.
It's just gross.
It's just gross. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
This home
yeah.
it's got good bones.
Yeah. So Nimbus says,
Just
"Nothing
like our
over
group."
here.
Bones.
Do you want to check out the chest?"
Yeah. Cover me.
And so Nimbus is holding his mace and kind of looking around like, "You're covered. You're fine."
That's good.
Or actually, given that Nimbus is probably not as familiar with that terminology, while you're investigating the the treasure chest, he holds a shield over your head to make sure you're covered.
That's
no
much better.
drips get on you from the ceiling.
Yeah, it's moldy, ragged clothing. They're styles that don't appear to have ever been in fashion. There's really, from your mind, there's nothing of value. The documents are it's goopy paste paper at this point. It's not really nothing legible on them or anything. It's pretty rotted and stained overall. This room is definitely.
I want to grab some of the pulp,
Yep.
that paper.
Yep.
And then walk out in the hallway and throw it at Maris like a spit wad.
What?
All right, make an attack roll. Add your dexterity modifier, please.
That's terrible.
This is an act of war.
Can I come up behind him and stab him?
Yes. So
I'm joking. That was a joke.
Maris, as you're looking down
25.
as you're looking down the hallway, Valkorian comes around the corner and he's got some sort of white substance in his hand, and he winds back and he throws it, and you get this spitball the size of a fist hits you right in between the eyes, and just like smelly, moldy paper is kind of stuck to your face for a moment, and then it falls off and drops on the
Splat.
ground in front of you. Yeah.
Hey, take a look at these documents.
Take a look at these documents.
So
Oh,
gross.
incredible.
I do not understand this mating ritual, but I understand.
Right.
Mike, give yourself an inspiration point. Thank you. Love it. So Warren, oh, good.
No.
Warren,
That's a good transition.
yep. The room, as you open up the room, it's this dirty, decaying bedroom. Across from you, you do see two windows that look out over into the sea. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna look at Bones and say, "This room looks empty. I'll check it out if you want to check a different room." And I'm gonna start walking through this room, through the areas that I can tell look sturdy, with my like axe out in front of me, like tapping on the floor in front of me to see if it's sturdy or not.
Yep. Make me an investigation check, and you can clearly see the watermarks from the ceiling and then the floor, and you can kind of see where the floor is bowed.
Where that gray spot is.
Yep.
Okay.
Is
I'm not gonna
damaged.
check that spot then, but I'll like do like an L around the room.
Yep. And make me an investigation check, please.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. So that's 19.
So you notice something interesting as you're making your way away from the water-damaged floor. You notice footprints, tracks in the dust and in the midden heaps in the room that make their way to the windows that are facing the south. And as you get close with that investigation check, the combination of the position of the house and the topography of the cliffs, you can see the sea. Like, it is a clear view of the sea out above. As you look down out the window, you can kind of see the cliffs beneath the house, and you sort of assess that that's where the cave is. But what you notice as you're panning back from that, this also is of the windows that you've seen in the house. This window's clean. It's been rubbed clean, and you notice some scuffing on the floor dust, and you definitely feel that that there are scratches of wood where something with a circular base has been set in against the window. You would assess, make me an investigation, or not investigation, just a general intelligence check.
I found the house cup holder.
D20, add your intelligence
D20
modifier.
plus 2. It'll be 10.
Yeah. You're fairly certain, based upon just what you see out the window and the descriptions that you were given from your captive, that this is probably the room that he did his signaling from.
Yep. All right. I'm pretty much good with this room. Walk out. Bones, how'd your search of that room go?
What room? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm in the hallway.
Hi, Butters.
What are you doing anything in the hallway there, Bones?
No.
Well, I'm gonna say this door, and I'm gonna kick it in.
There it is.
No, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say, Warren, I know that you're. I thought we were
Spit it
going
out
to a
loud.
pretty haunted house, but instead here we are, wandering around in the middle of the night on our second day, stuck in this fucking. I wanted to be out with Captain Ron right now, getting him out of the fucking jail, but instead we're here at this haunted house, this fucking stupid haunted house.
I'm gonna look at him before I kick in the door and say, "Lad, it's morning," and then just kick in the door as hard as I can.
And yet again, as you kick in another door and light spills forth from the window at the edge of the door, this bedroom has no furniture, but rubbish is scattered everywhere. Webs hang over the walls and the ceiling. From the doorway, you can see a glint of light in the fireplace from a small, highly reflective object.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna ignore that and walk towards the window. No, check out the fireplace, and be like, Bones, come check this out. Look.
And
God
as
damn it. Okay, I'm there.
Do anything, Christ.
are you gonna follow him in? Okay, cool. So
I guess
as you approach the fireplace, and the glint, your movement across the floor,
Combat
the
music.
wood creaks, and then
God
all of
damn
a
it.
sudden, swarming forth
God damn it.
from the walls of the fireplace above and below it, and coming forth is a swarm of spiders. Gentlemen,
Oh.
initiative.
We're so spread out. Fuck.
As I'm rolling initiative, look, breakfast for you. Oh, 15.
All right, everybody rolled.
Yes, sir.
20 to
Yep.
25.
Music is so good.
Oh, no 20 to 25s. Okay. 15 to 20.
17.
Also 17.
All right. So I've got it's gonna be Warren, and you guys will decide who goes first each round. Okay. 10 to 15.
14.
14 is Valk. Five to 10.
8 for Maris.
1 to 5.
Yeah.
Mr. Bones at 3, plus whatever his initiative modifier is.
0. So
So
3.
it's a
3.
All right, so 1, 2, 3. 4. All right, so first up, Warren. Spiders swarm forth from the fireplace, coming down from the ceilings, dropping in, and begin to come at you. What are your actions, sir?
I'm gonna take the flat side of my axe and bring it down on the bulk of them. Oh wait, I'm not close to them. Now I'm close to them, and I'm gonna do the thing I said.
All right, roll me an attack roll, please, sir.
20 plus.
I gotta turn this down. Just
4. That's 15.
15 hits as you squish into the spiders.
Oh wait, damage. 1d8 plus 4. It's 5.
So yeah, you try to smush down on the spiders, but they're moving so fast and swarming all over your axe that you're only able to get a small part of them with the downward stroke as they continue to move forth and swarm in your area. Any other actions?
I'm gonna yell as loud as I can. Lads, we got something not as bad as everything else we've made so far, but there's some spiders up here. Very loud, long thing to be yelling as quickly as possible.
All right, next up is Nimbus, and you hear from down the hall the yell that Warren just gave to you.
Shoot, I have to backpedal a little bit to get through this door, don't I? Yeah.
Right.
Bust down
5,
the wall.
10, 15, 20, 25. How does jumping move?
You're
Like-
fine. It's only 7 foot, so you just scoot smooth right over
Get
it.
to the other side.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm there. I'm gonna go ahead and take the dash action.
Okay.
3, 4.
Wait, you're moving Maris.
Oh, god damn it. That's what happens when you leapfrog. I shouldn't be allowed to move him. Probably from last week.
It's last week, yeah.
Okay, and that's where I can get to.
As Nimbus goes running by, I'm going to say, are we not doing the stealth thing like I requested?
And as he says that, as he goes running by, he goes, I heard yelling about spiders. I must go help.
Oh, were you married to him?
Pretty good stuff.
Another hole fall to the floor.
About
Stories
anything
do
else?
not get told of people who were great at sneaking around. We will kill everything that stands in our way.
All of those that kill spiders, but I'm not telling you that.
Pretty good. Next up, Valk.
I'm going to open this door.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I wasn't ready for that.
Takes his glasses off.
God damn it.
That was great.
All right. So as you open the door, this room appears to have been used for storage. A large, ill-made oak chest stands under the window, its lid closed. Elsewhere in the room lie 3 broken wooden chairs, 2 splintered wooden buckets, and a mildewed sack. Just inside the door is a heap of clothing. These garments have collected little dust, appearing to have been placed here only recently.
Right. That's it for my action, for my turn.
All right. Next up after Valk is going to be the spiders, and so the swarm of spiders begins to just move towards you, crawling up your legs and on you're down the haft of your axe onto your arms, and they're trying to bite at you. And I get, let's see.
Oh! He's got a hot hand, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a hot hand.
Yeah.
That's getting a little bit old.
That's
Shit.
Wait, my armor class is 20. Does that change? Or do you just have to match it to
it's
hit?
a natural hit. That's
Oh, fair enough.
I've rolled 3 20s and an 8 tonight with roll 20.
Yeah, if your
Uh-oh.
AC was like 40, natural 20 is going to connect anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, read for us the Nord's
Oh, this
game
would be
critical hit card.
So this is in the dangerous category. Something slipped. Your AC is reduced by 1d6 for 1d6 rounds.
All right, so roll me a d6.
You just had to go and brag about your AC.
That's exactly it.
It's reduced by 5. Now roll me another d6
I don't want it.
Okay.
for
one
one
round.
round. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to mark you.
15 AC.
Yeah, we're just going to mark you with a little color thing for a turn. So you're red to indicate that your AC's down. Okay, and so they hit. So you initially take you take 10 points of damage just off the top. And that is it for their turn. Next up, I'm sorry, it's not it for their turn. Bones, you hear. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong thing.
What is happening? I'm scared.
I'm not real good at transitioning still between the different layers in Roll20. I'm trying to get better, but
Just right click it and do bring to the front on whatever you're.
okay. So Bones, you hear along from the ceiling above you and on the wall beside you, more spiders come down as another swarm of spiders begins to move forth and try to attack you.
Oh no.
13 plus 16.
Jesus. Does that hit your bones?
How do I know
What's
that?
your AC?
What's your AC?
AC? This is the first time I've ever been hit, guys.
Your
Armor
AC.
class.
It's
It's like the shield thing.
Armor class. 17.
Yep. So it doesn't miss, or it doesn't hit. Sorry. The swarm of spiders begins to crawl on the ground towards you, and you kind of smack them away and stomp your foot down, and the spiders are unable to make contact with you. That's the end of their turn. Maris, you're up.
Is there anything in this hallway, like a barrel or torches on the wall or anything?
Nothing. The hallway is bare.
Okay. If I move to the doorway, which is here.
Yep.
Can I guess, grab my dagger and? How big are these spiders?
It's a swarm, so it's about a 5 foot of just moving spiders.
Okay. but
Before he
like-
throws them, I'll be like, "What? I'm hurt pretty bad. I don't know if you can do anything to help."
I can't to answer your question.
All right, fair enough. Oh wait, you're not the cleric. You're the monk.
I was gonna say I could toss you a healing potion, but I think
No, I got a healing potion. I'm fine.
Okay, so I'll unsheath my dagger and make some attacks at this swarm of spiders.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to step into the room to do that, though, because of the way the door is shaped around that corner. It would be difficult to hit. So
Okay,
You don't
so
have
could
to
I
take an
move
attack, though.
like here
yeah,
that-
totally. Yep.
against the wall? Okay.
Yep.
And dagger attack.
Nice.
Why you roll it 2 dice?
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
that ain't right.
Do I get 2 attacks?
Nope. Do you get 2 attacks?
He's a
Maris?
monk.
Oh, you get 1 attack, and then you can use your bonus action. We can. Okay. Yeah. You don't get 2 attacks. You take an attack action, and then you can, once you take an attack action, use a bonus action to do another attack. So that's fine. We'll just count both of those as your rolls.
Okay.
So yeah, 2 attacks.
Yeah, that's how I have it macroed, but I can.
No, you're fine. I just wasn't sure what was happening. So yeah, that's fine. Totally. Yep. So 2 attacks. Those both hit. Roll for damage, please.
All right, damage 1. Ooh, 5.
Nice.
Come on, better. 6.
So as you're stabbing down, 11 total, you're stabbing down. You know, you're having a really hard time connecting with these spiders and trying to kill them. It's definitely not doing as much damage as you think that you should be able to do.
Interesting.
Okay, I'll just yell out, if we get into trouble, let's hop back across the gap, and I don't think they could follow us.
Ah.
All right. Next up, Bones. Oh, you were done, Maris. Anything else?
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right.
Okay, I don't have any alcohol on me, so which is terrible because I totally should right now because I was
It's a mistake.
total mistake, and I'm gonna learn from this right now that
Waffle fries.
we had a bunch of fucking alcohol downstairs, and I would light these shits on fire, which would burn this whole place down. We have to run out right out of the house.
Been there.
I'm gonna take a swing at him at the spiders.
Okay.
I think.
Roll a d20.
Okay. +6.
So 13. That hits. Yeah. Roll damage, please.
Okay. It's 2 + 4.
And I want to listen, like, as Mr. Bones is swinging, does he sound really rageful and angry?
I'm annoyed. I'm very annoyed with Warren.
Going through rage.
Yeah, I think he's just saying use a rage first.
Yep. So you're swinging your weapon, and again, it doesn't feel like it's kidding. You're not killing as many as you want to, as they're moving very fast on the floor, and you're having a hard time hitting. Your bonus action.
I'm just gonna walk away. I'm gonna come out here.
Just so you know, if you walk away, they will get an attack of opportunity at you. So they will.
Okay.
They're gonna hit you if you walk away.
Yeah.
Well, then I will swing again.
All right. Roll a d20. That's a hit. Roll damage.
Okay.
So 9 + 6 is 15.
And then this would be
That can be-
+4 would be 5.
All right.
Kill some spideys.
So again, you're able to hit a few with your cutlass, but they're still moving around pretty quickly. Anything else, Bones?
That's it for me.
All right. Top of the order, Warren. Your AC will reset at the end of this round.
I'm gonna use my second wind. I can use a bonus action first, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
the order is immaterial.
All
Yep.
right. I am doing my second wind, so it's a D10 + 1. So that's 2 health. Fuck me. 2 health heal.
Did you rolled a 1?
I rolled a 1 and I get +1 to it.
Damn.
Okay. Yep. So you get 2 health points back.
The dice are trying to kill me.
I've got you. That puts you at 5, right?
6.
6. Okay.
Yeah, because I was at 4 because it took 10 damage.
No worries.
So I guess I'm gonna smash them again because I don't want to walk away and get hit
All right.
twice.
Don't do that.
Don't attack them.
Don't walk away and get hit again.
Yeah.
Sit there and face tank.
Do you have initiative before they do? Do you go next?
You chose to go before me because otherwise
Yeah.
we go at the same time. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't. I was told, but that's great. All right.
That's
So I'm
true.
gonna
You were
attack.
told.
It's my fault. I should have seen
Oh,
the
it's
two
all good.
17s.
I would have gone first either way. It's all right. 19.
Can someone
Nice.
timestamp Mike's entrance
20?
onto the scene just then was epic. Just saying.
Oh, I should have missed it.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit. Roll for damage, please.
Sliding into those DMs.
You know, he's a dungeon master, right?
Timestamp Mikey slide hips.
Nice.
Damn it.
Damn it.
9.
9. All right. So you're able to make contact, and again, you're having a hard time killing these things. They're swarming around and moving around, and you're not making good hits with your axe. Anything
I thought
else?
They were just spiders. No,
It's
I'm just gonna.
it's a swarm. So imagine the entire
Oh no,
fight.
I understand.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
an incidental, I'm gonna say I thought they were just spiders. Like famous last words.
That's on your tombstone.
All right. Next
Yeah.
up after Warren is Nimbus.
Nimbus? Sorry, you broke up there.
Yes,
okay,
Nimbus.
Yeah. So I'm gonna round this corner here, and I know this seems silly. Nimbus is gonna go ahead and get right in front of, straight up walk through all of the spiders and kind of like try and wade through them and get between the spiders and Warren, his new friend. I know that like for mechanical purposes that means just walking through them. But basically, what he's going to do is come through and like push through the spiders and lay a hand on his shoulder, and close his eyes briefly and murmur the words and cast what is this going to be? Cure Wounds on him. So we're going to restore 1d8
Nice.
plus 3 hit points to you. Is that going to be me rolling or you?
Typically, it's the healer that rolls.
Okay.
It's your
My rolls
spell.
have been shit, so I'm gonna rely on you.
9.
Nice.
That's pretty
Thank
solid.
Christ.
You're
9.
back to full, right? Yeah.
Yep, you are back up to full health then at this point. All right.
Sweet. So
my
yeah,
team.
Nimbus is kind of trying to do everything he can to make sure that he's disturbed all of these spiders and they will hit him next if possible. But
So when
he obviously
Nimbus
can't control it.
when Nimbus puts his hands on you, you hear in your ears the rush of waves, and you smell the pungent odor of fish and salt water, and a light moisture seems to settle on your body as your
You hear
health
seagulls.
health is reset. Nimbus, anything else?
That's it for him.
Nice. Next up after Nimbus, Valkorian.
Yelling out, "Oh, did you guys kill that spider?"
God damn it.
Nimbus yells, "There's like 100 spiders over here!"
Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
I mean, yes, technically, I suppose. Oh wait, what am I? That? Never mind.
So I'm gonna dash to here.
All right. And so you guys hear. Actually, you hear nothing because it's Valkorian. And then a
Oh.
breeze enters, and then all of a sudden there's Valkorian standing there, ready to.
Like a pungent fart, I baseball
Just
slide
like
under Mr. Bones' legs and pop up.
But Valkorian now?
Is that the anime entrance? Is that what it's
Naruto run down the hallway.
And today,
totally able to make
rolling
that
20,
move.
natural 20 every time.
That's amazing.
There's a lot of space underneath the turtle's legs, so you're able to slide through without issue. All right, top of the spider's turn. So the first spiders continue to attack against Warren. 10 plus 3,
I'm back.
13.
So at the end of your turn, that would
15 or 20.
You're now at 20.
Yeah, either way, I'm at 15 or 20, so fuck them.
Okay, so yeah,
So
they're
fuck 'em.
they're trying to bite on you, but they're catching nothing but armor as you're flailing your arms and your axe about. At the top of the in the corner, the spiders are swinging at the turtle, excuse me. That's 11 plus 14.
17.
So again, same thing. You're able to definitely dodge around. For a turtle, you move quite nimbly, actually, and they're unable to get purchase on you and make a contact. After the spiders, Maris, your turn.
We shall stabby once more.
Wait, with your fists? Are you stabbing them?
No,
with
he's
your
got
fists?
his
I
monk
have a
daggers.
dagger.
Oh, I see.
19 and 20.
Yeah, those both hit. Roll damage for me.
Damn, so does that mean I was playing him wrong last week? I was just punching stuff.
I thought the dagger would be more appropriate for the spiders, given that I
Yeah.
was covered in the grub worms before,
Gotcha.
and that kind of backfired. Let's see, 5 damage on both of them.
They're both 5, so that's 2. That's 4. Yeah. So again, you make contact, but nothing seems to be doing as much damage as there's just a swarm of spiders moving around. And as you pull your daggers back, you've got 4 little spiders on each dagger, much like what Valkorian had done in the last combat. some spider kebabs. Anything else from you, Maris?
No.
All right, next up, Bones.
I'm just gonna swing at them again, I guess.
All right.
Okay. Let's do 20.
Get pissed, Mr. Bones.
Starting to get mad at how little people are mad about things.
I just want to like blow. I want to roll out my torch, but I have no alcohol, and so I should have alcohol on me at all times.
Right.
Very upset.
Can you
Okay.
not rage without alcohol?
No. Here we go.
I mean, that'd be an amazing feature, actually.
So I'd be 6.
So you're able to make contact. Similarly, though, at this, there's just so many spiders. You're only able to take out a few spiders, but you've decimated the bulk of these spiders as the spider legs and body parts and piles of spider ichor are piling on the ground. There's still a few spiders swarming about in that space. Anything else from you, Bones?
Gonna do the left hand. Didn't make it. No.
Yeah. There's so few as you whip your cutlass down, they split, and you leave a nice chunk of wood gouge in the floor as you miss the spiders. Next up, after Bones, Warren, you are back to normal armor class now.
Oh yeah.
Your turn, buddy.
Well, I'm gonna, I guess, keep smashing away at the fucks. So I'm gonna roll 20. 17.
That's a
plus
definite hit.
1,
Yep.
And then 1d8 plus 4. Gonna be 8 damage.
Oh,
Die
shit.
spiders die?
No, not yet. Smack! And as you pick
Gave
your
it away.
your axe up, you see a number of spider bodies on the side, but there's still a bulk of them moving around in that space. Anything else for you, Warren?
Fucking die!
Oh
And then I'm done.
Zoom filtered out most of that.
Oh, good. Good for Zoom.
That was
Nimbus,
great.
you're up.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna drive a fucking mace blow down on the spider, I suppose. Well, so would Nimbus have been noticing like the inefficiency of physical weapons on these things?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
you
given
have a
that
natural
you've been
perception
seeing-
of 13, so yes, you notice that.
Yeah. So everybody's kind of like smashing down on these spiders, and they're just swarming and running around all over the place, killing 1 or 2 instead of 20 at a time. So he's just gonna splash, do a spray on the bulk of them right here.
Yep.
So he's gonna do Sacred Spray. So that means, or Sacred Splash, it's gonna be a DC 13 Dex save on their part.
Dex save.
Dex.
DC 13,
Yes.
12. Just fucking missed it, dude.
Booyah.
I rolled an
Come on.
I rolled an 11. I was like, oh, these guys definitely have at least
Doesn't
a
matter,
+2
they
dex.
take 1 water damage.
All
That's
right.
my turn next.
And you do
God
the
damn it.
full damage. You notice that this actually seems to work pretty effectively on the spiders that are hit or destroyed by the radiant water that hits them.
Which is pretty cool if it were more than 1 damage.
Yeah, it would be cool.
God damn it.
Valkorian.
Okay.
Really well, though.
But still, Nimbus will
It still
call
killed
out.
them, right?
Yeah, I mean, it killed some of them, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
but Nimbus calls out, "My friends, your weapons are not very effective against the swarm. You must use whatever you can as far as magical or otherworldly attacks that you have. Pull out all the stops."
Torches. Let's burn
Yeah,
this shit
sure.
down.
And I'm gonna kiss my biceps. Oh yeah.
Supernatural biceps.
Valkorian, your turn.
Seeing the spiders scurrying about, I'm gonna look down at the rapier in my hand and the handguard that's on it. Punch down at the biggest collection of them that I can find.
All right, make me an attack.
Crushing some Sandos, buddy.
Crushing some Spidos, buddy. 6 Spidos, buddy.
A 12.
Nice.
That just hits as you smack down with the hand grip of your rapier, and you hear the sound
Oh.
as spiders are crushed underneath. Roll damage for me.
That's great.
Bones, was that you?
6, and then a d6 for sneak attack.
Very nice.
Nice.
12 points of damage.
Yeah, the last, as you pick up your rapier, ready to take on the next rest of the spiders, you look, and then you look at your grip, and what remained of the spiders is just crushed up against the hand grip.
Yeah.
That grip of spiders is expired.
As an
Dude, I'm
incidental,
expired.
I'll look over at Maris and say, "Oh, I don't know if you know this, but spider kebabs are quite restful and will help you if you eat them in duskwood."
What? Spider kebabs.
I think I have that recipe.
That's great.
All right, over to the spiders, who did not care for the attack against them from the water, and
You pissed him off.
they are gonna
I
roll
pissed on him.
Is that attack?
12.
12 does not hit.
Did you splash?
So they try to make their way towards you, but they're kind of the radiant water has slowed them down, and they're unable to make it and actually make purchase on any part of your body with what in the time that they had. Next up, before you're able to pull back, Maris, you're up.
I kind of wanted him to hit me.
I didn't know that Tritons.
Oh, come on. Ugh.
What was that?
Oh, I didn't
That
know
was-
that Tritons worship the goddess Cytherea with that sacred spray.
That's right.
What's that 7 end up being?
13 to hit and 22 to hit on the bonus
Those
attack.
both hit. Roll damage for me, sir.
First one, 7.
Nice.
Dagger 2, 8.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's fierce.
And you just like those guys at the Japanese hibachi restaurants.
Naruto characters. You know one.
Yeah, you're and like spider bits are flying up around and guts, and you look back and you've got some spider goo just slowly dripping down the side of your face.
And he
But
also
there's
yells, Sasuke!
there's
An
there's
onion volcano.
yeah there's a
He bloomed their onion.
there's a few spiders left, but you seem to have made waste of most of them. After Maris, anything else, Maris?
No.
Bones, you're up, buddy.
Aren't they all dead?
No,
Oh,
there's
motherfucker.
still a few left.
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's one. There's the big. There was 2. There's still 1.
Okay, so I'm gonna be right here. I want to try this attack because I want to see how it works.
Yeah.
So if I just use a torch, and I mean, but when the world of D&D, because like, just as someone said earlier, like if we're just like waving our axes and like bows and shit, if I have a torch and I'm like sticking it at spiders and shit like that, seems way more effective than to me personally in reality.
You
But-
would do fire damage with that. So typically weapons either do piercing, slashing, or bludgeoning damage. Your weapons are all slashers, and so if you had a torch in your hand that was lit and you did it to the spiders, it would be fire damage, which is a different damage type than your normal weapons.
But would it be more effective?
You won't know until you try.
Yeah.
The challenge here, though, is that in order to do that, you'd have to drop your cutlasses, to reach in your pack to get your torch, but then you gotta light your torch, and it's
Okay.
you don't have a lighter. You have to like strike a tinderbox to light it, and that would take
So-
your whole turn.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll just swing at them then.
Okay.
Can I help him light it from where I'm at? Oh,
Not in combat like this, no.
fair enough.
Unfortunately. 60, that hits.
Okay. And then D6 plus 4.
Finish him.
So 6.
Exactly what you needed. Please describe for me, if you will, how you finish these spiders.
Oh god damn it! First we're going to the no. So he's like he picks up his dagger and he slices them down, and as he does it and he gets the spiders down there, he like picks them up and he
If you don't have an inspiration yet,
them all.
Bones, give yourself an inspiration for staying true to your character, sir.
Oh,
well,
God.
well done.
Boy, Mr. Bones, this is gonna look mighty awkward if you fight another turtle if you keep eating what you're killing.
I'm full as fuck. Sorry.
And with
That's
that,
great.
you guys are no longer in initiative.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Hey, I got a room down the hallway over here that appears to be used somewhat recently. There's a rather nice-looking completed chest. I could use some help checking her out.
Is there a door?
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna sprint off down the hallway towards the door.
To go kick a door?
I mean, it's open, I assume, because he opened it.
Yeah, you already opened
So
it.
I'm just gonna carefully take it off its hinges.
No door left behind.
Oh yeah, sorry. Wait, the GM needs to do something.
No. I will remind you, because you got caught up in the moment of combat, that you did come into this room because you
Oh,
saw
the glint.
a glint in the fireplace. So
Nice.
I
You know
will
what?
remind you as to why you came in here.
I think in the mention of the door, I would still check the glint and
Okay.
then get the door.
All right. So you notice the glint where there's a lot of cobwebs around it. Clearly the spiders had used that cubby hole as the start of their nest. But you pull out a small crystal bauble that appears to be worth about 5 silver. So just add 5 silver to your inventory.
Nice.
Not bad.
Totally worth almost dying.
Roll me a D20 investigation check though as you pull it out and are assessing its value.
Somebody else roll 1 too, maybe.
There's
That's a 10.
You look at this and you've seen things like this before in alchemy shops. You've seen these types of crystals being used before.
Got it. And seeing that it's somewhat kind of nerd shit, I'm gonna toss it to who's the nerdiest character in our party? Fuck, we're all jocks.
Maris is
The
his
Frenchies.
Scholar, yeah.
Yeah, the
both-
Frenchies
both
are
of the
both
Frenchies.
nerds. I'm gonna
Yeah.
toss it to Mike.
I'm a
Mike's
cartographer.
character.
Cartographer, yeah. That's
Yeah, the fucking nerd. I'm gonna toss it to him.
So make a dexterity check just to catch it, Maris.
I gotta check my decks.
I'm very
Hits
good
me
at
in-
throwing.
hits me in the glasses.
Are you trying to get him to catch it, or are you trying to be like, here, catch this dumbass? Like,
They're like, no, it's like, I don't want this. Here you go. Like,
Alright.
it's I put some effort into it.
11.
cool. So you catch it, you grab it out of the air, and you look at it, and instantly you had just looked at the book about alchemy last week, just downstairs, and with that reference, and then this is used as a counterweight in alchemical work. You're quite familiar with the usage of this crystal.
So perhaps they are using this haunted house to cover up their alchemical nefarious activities here, perhaps.
And I'm gonna hear the word cover up and then head back to the fireplace and like, look, is there anything else in the fireplace? Like, what does it look like it's burned? Is there anything burned?
No, this fireplace hasn't been used in quite some time. Give me an investigation check though, if you'd like.
How is alchemy viewed in this world? Is it like
You don't see anything new about it.
7.
Uh,
Just gonna bop, 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 bop.
From your what you know about the various lands, there's not. You mostly know about like diplomacy and the state of relationships between the different lands. You know that magic is fairly commonplace, but it's mostly like pedestrian magic. Anything that isn't pedestrian magic is strictly controlled by the Order. They tend to have in most major cities a contingent that when people find things or they become aware of magical items, they try to seize them. But alchemy, you don't isn't policed as much.
Interesting.
it's like moonshining?
Yeah, it's not illegal. It's just frowned upon.
Okay.
Huh.
So I'll pocket the bauble. But Nimbus says that was some good thinking with magic using on these spiders. My daggers did not seem to be very effective versus these small items.
Yes, I hope that we do not have any more run-ins where the majority of our party's primary means of attacking is nullified. That was nearly very bad.
So one of the things, Warren, when you came into the room, you had noticed the stuff at the window. I don't know if you had a chance to share
Oh wait,
that with
there was stuff at the window? I thought it
the-
was just in the fireplace.
At the window you noticed the scuff marks and the tracks, and how this window had appeared clean where the other windows, not this room, the next room over. So
Oh,
yeah.
The 2-second version of that is, lads, I found where they put the thing for signaling the ships.
Oh yeah, you found like yeah. Where
Right.
he was doing yeah.
And Valkoran, you do have that piece of paper on
Yeah.
you. Yep. Okay. Cool. So, what are we doing, players?
I'm heading back over here. Hey, Stunty, come over here.
Stunty.
I follow him, knowing that's me,
That's terrible.
and I
do
start
not
taking
follow.
the door off as soon as I see it.
Easily done.
We'll head this way.
This room appears to have been used for storage. A large ill-made oak chest stands under the window, its lid closed. Elsewhere in the room lie 3 broken wooden chairs, 2 splintered wooden buckets, and a mildewed sack. Just inside the door is a heap of clothing. These garments have collected little dust, appearing to have been placed here only recently, and now they have a shattered door on top of them.
Oh no, I
check-
was taking it off the hinges.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Nicely. Okay.
Checking for traps, and if the chest is locked.
Cool. Make me a sleight of hand check, please.
An 11.
And that's with your proficiency modifier as well, because you're
Right.
using your tools. Yep. You're able to. There's no lock on the chest, so you're able to pop it open, and it stands empty before you.
All right. What's in those ragged clothes over there?
Yeah. So the pile of clothes by the door, obviously, it's an outfit. It's some shirt, pants, socks, and shoes. It's a standard clothing of the townsfolk that you had seen back at Saltmarsh. The pile of clothing that you mentioned, it's a bunch of soiled clothing. There is an inordinate number of woolen socks. So there's a couple of shifts, a couple of pants, but then there's 17 pairs of socks.
What?
How crusty are they?
The underpants gnomes.
Is that a washing machine?
You have been reading too many strange books, my friend.
All right. So, players, what are our actions?
Coming up here around the corner to look.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll catch up.
All right. And as you round this corner,
Oh,
Yeah, into the
Stairs?
kitchen.
a gaping hole in the floor shows where the top of the staircase used to lead before it collapsed. It stands collapsed at the end of the hall. There are grimy cobwebs on the walls and ceiling, and the floor is covered with broken furniture and other rubbish. Several holes in the roof allow dim light to enter this large room that extends the length of the house. Oh, sorry. Nope. Nope. That you don't see that. Nope. Nope.
We do the thing the DM said we don't see.
That's the description of the attic I started to read. Sorry. So this is talking about the area beneath the attic.
Oh, man.
You can see the whole the staircase that leads up into the attic above, but the staircase is collapsed and not you can't traverse it.
There's so many doors down
Hey.
there. though.
I know.
Gonna boost
Nimbus.
Corian up there.
Yeah.
So I'll move to the base of the stairs here and
Follow
cup
him
my
around the
hands.
corner.
Yep, the stairs on the north end lead down into the kitchen below. You recognize that, and then these stairs you can see up into the attic from where you're standing, and you see the holes in the roof of the attic and a large room up there. But
Hoist me up.
Up and at them.
I can try.
I can try.
I feel like Bones
I'm
is
a
probably
turtle.
better
That's
equipped,
like, yeah.
You'll have to toss me.
I go in like a shell form.
Don't tell the sea elf.
So who is hoisting who?
I can give him 4 feet.
Where you're hoisting?
Bones is hoisting
Valkyrian.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So to the angle, you'll have to be there. Give me a strength check, Bones, please.
Okay. Right there. That's 18.
Yeah, he's able to lift you up high enough to where from like your nose to the top of your head, so your eyes are at floor level with the attic, Lee, and you can see into it. And several holes in the roof allow dim light to enter this large room that extends the length of the house. 2 large sacks lie heaped in the corner, and in the light as it comes in the rafters, you see what appears to be large, like beehives, and as you're taking a look at them, you see flying around. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Hovering around. Why can't I hate this interface sometimes.
Uh-oh.
You see
Treasure. Treasure.
that's the pile of clothes that's
That's
marked
what
there.
Devin took away
Yeah.
from the.
But you see hanging in the rafters near Sturgis.
So it's Valkyrian's face versus 18 bees.
And this is where we'll pick up next week.
Oh no.
Right.
So, what happened this
What? Oh God, we failed miserably.
evening? The party searched the darkened cellar, and found a dead dwarf who appeared to be a blacksmith of some sort. He had forge worn and the symbol of the dwarven anvil, a shop in Saltmarsh that Warren is familiar with, on the side of the hammer. The party made waste of the rot grubs that attacked them there, collected the armor and shield and sword from the dead dwarf, and left his body on the floor. And then they moved upstairs into the house, where they were accosted by a swarm of spiders that did quite a bit of damage to them, and almost killed the dwarf. But then Nimbus was able to give him the blessing of the sea, and bestow some healing on him. And then they made their way through a couple more rooms, and have peeked into the attic. Imagine, if you will, you've got the turtle with his arms extended, and Valkorian on his feet in the hands of the turtle, and his eyes, from his nose to his eyes above, he's looking into the attic, and he just sees Sturgis flying around these nests. And that's where we're at the end of this week.
And right as he gets up there, Nimbus goes,
I propose that we turn tail and just make our way to the town.
and scene.
All right.
terrible.
So I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Had a really good session. Some good role playing by the characters. Some decent combat. Took them a few hints to figure out that the creatures were resistant to their damage types, but they got there, and were able to make use of it at the end, and not perish to some spiders. Are all those spiders dead yet? So yeah, really enjoyed it. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you next week. We will have a reduced cast next week, as we are losing a couple of players to go for a couple of weeks. So we'll pick up where we're at next Monday. So yeah, thanks a lot. Ramshackle Production signing out.
Bye, guys.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.